Buddy joined your channel.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this Tuesday evening, and welcome to the Deep Freeze with the Eskimo Brothers. I am your co-host who can't decide on who I hate the most, Andy Bisag, and joining me in his own private room at an adult store with a gratuitous amounts of lube, my co-host and good pal, Tom Torrey.
Thank you, Andy, and tonight is going to be as slick as Pamela Anderson on Baywatch in the 90s.
Whoop, whoop.
You know, before the hepatitis.
Wah, wah, wah.
But at any rate, as Andy said, thanks for joining us tonight. I know we got a late start, and I apologize. That was my shitty computer. Tonight's show has all you need to know about the MLB. We also have some news on the NBA and NHL playoffs, and as always, we'll be playing a game. Andy apparently wants his ass kicked again at Super Mega Baseball 2, so we will get into another 5-inning match being game number 2 of our series. So get your score predictions in now.
That's right, I hope to rebound from last week's embarrassment and spank you like Bill Cosby getting spanked in prison. Too soon? Ay. Anyways, we have a few segments tonight that will follow along what's in season. If we don't mention something and you want to talk about it, please type it up in the chat and we'll give it a little discussion. You know, we like to keep this show open, and it's really for anybody who might be tagging along and watching along with us tonight, and we're just here to talk sports and shoot the shit, really.
Yeah, but please don't ask medical questions. We're not doctors, and we don't want to take a look. For the love of God, please don't ask anything about the Chicago Cubs. Dude's going to fucking lose it. But anyway, speaking of baseball, Andy is up with the MLB Reach Around.
Grab your mitts and get ready for another crazy edition of the MLB Reach Around, brought to you by the Eskimo Brothers. In the AL West, after going 7-3 in their last 10, the Astros and their dominant pitching staff have mounted the top spot of the AL West, with the Cano-less Mariners hopping the LA Angels, who have gone 3-7 in their last 10 games, despite the heroic efforts of the Trout and Ohtani show.
Cheater.
AL East. The AL East is still gridlocked at the top, with the Yankees and Red Sox destroying teams handily, going 7-3 and 6-4 in their last 10 games respectively. The AL East nosedives after that, with the other 3 teams, the Rays 9, Blue Jays 10, and Orioles 17.5 games back, almost ensuring that we are going to see a Manny Machado trade sooner than later. And I gotta ask, you know, you really think the Cubs? I know you said that.
Yeah.
I know you said that Cubs. Is that where you really think Manny Machado's going to go?
I don't know. There's a lot of crazy shit that happens in baseball. Super teams form.
Super teams form. They do form. And with the Yankees being a super team, you know, it's kind of interesting that, the Cubs might be looking at Machado. Because if they go get Machado, I mean, that's really their big competition, right? I mean, we've got the Brewers. They were ranked 5 in the power rankings this week.
Sure.
They were talking about it on Intentional Talk. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the bit, but they were saying that they thought that the Brewers could be World Series contenders.
Well, we do have a good bullpen right now. I mean, we'll see what happens in September. You know how that goes. So we just wait and see. I'm not getting too excited.
Snarehead, when you go into when you're in your Twitch program there where you're chatting, there's a little up arrow, but it's I think you have to purchase bits and then you can use them in the channel. It's right next to the little emoji smiley face. But to give a little continue on the reach around there. Over in the AL Central, it's pretty mediocre. The entire division's got sub 500 records. The entire division is just doing horrible. We got the Indians still hold a 1.5 game lead over the Twins and 2.5 over the Tigers. But at this point, with all the teams pretty much sucking it up, the division is still up for grabs.
I think the Indians will still get that division, but it's not nearly as strong as it was a year ago.
Now, there's been a lot of movement. I mean, I could see the Indians getting hot and possibly moving back over 500, but moving over onto the NL, in the National League West, the top 3 teams are, again, only separated by 2 games, with the hot but cooling D-backs holding a narrow lead over the cooling Rockies. And both teams putting up terrible 10-game stretches, going 1-9 and 4-6, respectively. The Giants have won 2 straight, and if they can put together a good stretch of games, they could easily leap to the top position in their division. And, as we were talking in the chat ahead of time, if Paul Goldschmidt can kind of turn his early season woes around and start hitting, maybe he would be able to bring the D-backs back into prominence again.
Yeah, I mean, really, at this point, it's they really haven't had good pitching as of late. I can see Colorado really reaching for this division if they can keep their shit together. The Dodgers, I don't know, are they helpless right now? I don't know. Are they buyers or sellers at trade time?
I can't see, with the Dodgers being 9 games back, I can't see them going out and getting somebody. Especially with them being so quiet in the offseason. This last offseason, they're not going to go and spend money now when they purposely didn't spend money in the offseason based on the upcoming offseason. A la Bryce Harper.
Did they?
They didn't go after you, Darvish, as far as I know. And if you think about it, Kershaw is in a contract year. I believe he has a player option coming up in this offseason, which means he's going to get paid maybe equally as well as Bryce Harper. Maybe more.
Do you think he's worth that?
I don't think that any player is worth $20 million a year, and it just goes to show you that with the Royals and some of the other smaller teams that are having success right now, that you don't have to spend the most money to win. And again, you can look at the Yankees for fuel to that argument, being that the Yankees haven't won the World Series every year, and they went a long stretch without even making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't know. I have to agree. I don't think the Dodgers would go out and get somebody, but I don't think right now they have anybody else that they can call up to make things better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Perhaps it's time for the Dodgers to try to sell off some of their older pieces and maybe try to bring a youth movement into LA. But moving on to the NL East, we've got another youth movement. Good segue there. In the NL East, with the Braves and the Phillies both with a bunch of young guys just killing it out there. I mean, going 7-3 in their last 10 games for the Phillies. And the Braves. And the Phillies are in second place. They're a 1.5 games back. However, the Braves they have a plus 65 run differential, and those kids are just ripping and tearing. And by the way, it looks as if the other New York team may have righted the ship after winning 3 straight. and 6-4 in their last 10, sitting 3.5 games behind the division-leading Braves. And they went and signed Jose Bautista today, so maybe that's going to do it for him. I don't think so.
I don't know how long the Braves are going to be able to hold out. I don't know who's going to... I mean, you think the Nationals are going to emerge in that division and take it over and just keep it, keep that lead like they normally would. But the Braves just won't go away.
Well, as Snare had said earlier, Max Scherzer's killing it, but
yeah,
where's the rest of the team? And do you think, and this is me asking you this, or anybody who might be watching, do you think that the looming contract year of Bryce Harper is partially a factor in the Nationals' poor play?
I think it's a distraction. I think partially, I think it's the media themselves that kind of make a distraction from him. They talk about it almost every day with him, and if I were Bryce Harper, I'd be pretty fucking annoyed, and I think anybody in the clubhouse, I think, would be pretty upset with the fact of, I don't know. I don't know how. I guess I've never been in a situation like that. I don't know how you deal with something like that as being a player, being on the outside looking in, or being that player having to deal with it. But I think it's ridiculous. Just pay the man.
Well, when you have Scott Boras as your agent, you go to free agency. He's proven that in the past with all of he urges his players to go to free agency. I think that in this particular case, and me being an old school, I try to grasp the old school rules of the game, if you will, the unwritten rules, some of them.
Right.
I love the players that stick with a team their whole career. Those are my most respected players throughout history, are the ones that chose to stay with a team their entire career. I would like to say Ryan Braun, even though he's been kind of stuck here because of his situation. I think had his
trapped us.
Right, exactly. But definitely the guys, the Robin Younts, the Cal Ripkins, those type of guys are the ones that always got my admiration and respect.
Right.
With that being said, I think that Bryce Harper should have just signed a contract extension with the Nationals, and the guy's only 22, 23?
Right.
Sign a 3-year deal.
I think he's been out here longer than that, and he really hasn't.
Well, and I'd like to see some of these younger guys possibly start signing some contracts that are more team-friendly, but possibly shorter, to get some of these teams that haven't won yet a chance at a shot.
Well, as we all know, the game is always evolving, so we'll see how it plays out in the summer.
But moving on to the NL Central, the most hotly contested division in baseball, the NL Central has the top 4 teams all within a game and a half. The Brewers, whoop whoop, currently lead the way, going 7-3 in their last 10 with a successful West Coast road trip, taking series from the Rockies and the D-backs in the process. The next 3 teams, the Cards, the Cubs, and the Pirates, all sit a game and a half back, but I do believe that changed after last night, which is okay. Yeah. And at this point, there is no clear-cut front runner. Although I try to temper my expectations, I try to be, impartial. But being a Brewer fan kind of makes it hard for me not to point out that the Brewers are playing pretty damn well this year.
It's a bullpen and fucking hater.
I saw a stat earlier today that our bullpen has a sub-2 ERA. More like a sub-1.5 ERA, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. So that definitely wins games for you. When teams can't score on you late, if you can put up a couple and your starters can keep you in it, that's how you win games.
No more Willie Peralta.
Willie the Chili Peralta, because dude did look like a big penguin out there.
I swear to God, at a game, he could hear me just yelling at him. Because I was right up in these club seats. Like, I was looking right at him. I swear to God, he looked at me. Like, when they called him out, I'm like, thank God!
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
What's going on in the world of the NBA, Tom?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
You want to start us off in the East? Or?
I had a couple of drinks while I was waiting for the update, so I apologize ahead of time to everybody here. In the Eastern Conference Finals, as expected, LeBron James and his Cleveland Cavaliers have roared back in the series, taking 2 in a row to tie the series again at 2. In games 3 and 4, he combined to score 71 points, and the quote-unquote hero ball tactic seems to pull them through for the moment.
Hero ball.
Hero ball. J.R. Smith was calling it hero ball. Only Kevin Love and Kyle Korver seem to average double-digit points per game. It's safe to say LeBron is against the world at this point. Another note from Game 4 is LeBron passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most field goals made in the postseason.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I really don't care.
Whatever. It's cool to see some of the records. Hey, no matter if you're a LeBron lover or a LeBron hater, he is one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. Ever. And possibly...
I find him annoying.
And arguably the greatest. I'm not saying he is the greatest, but I'm saying that he has made a good case for him to be announced as the best player ever.
As you're yanking on some LeBron teeth there, let's not count out the Celtics just yet. Although Game 3 was a blowout, in Game 4 the Celtics seemed like they could come back. Playing from behind nearly the whole game makes it really tough to persevere through. From what I watched from the press conferences, things like that, Coach Stevens will make adjustments to better assist the young stars of Boston, and hopefully will give them a chance to shine again in the playoffs. As much as I dislike both clubs, it has been pretty fun to watch a team who's lost their stars but are playing like they don't even need them. I don't know. Al Horford still doing the rebounding, but I don't know. With the Celtics, they just look bad. They don't play well away from home.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the game, unfortunately.
Well, then we don't have to talk about it. Moving on to the Western Conference Finals.
Wait, let's see what James Scott has to say. He says, take away his lane violations on every free throw and he would shoot as bad as Shaq, is what he says about...
I actually would agree with that.
And who is that? That's in reference to LeBron?
I think Horford.
Oh, okay.
So Western Conference Finals, we got Game 4 tonight, which I think is going on right now. Well, the West is not disappointed at all with the series as Steph Curry shined in Game 3. His outburst of "this is my fucking house" didn't sit well with his mother, but I think anyone who follows the Warriors knows that he loves his team more than anything else right now. He is the face of Golden State, and with the support staff of Durant, Thompson, and Green, they will continue their upheaval of the West and keep on dominating. As for the Rockets, they need a bit of a realignment since Curry has stepped up. They were targeting Curry real early on in games 1 and 2 and really broke him down defensively. But Harden and Paul don't seem like themselves at times. Rumor has it that Chris Paul is dealing with an injury right now, but he's downplaying it. Hopefully Boston can rebound and get back into the series as Game 4 is playing out as we speak. I still think the Warriors may do it in 5 just because of all the star power they have.
Star power.
Star power.
You were talking about Golden State, right?
Yeah.
Gotta love the shooting. I'm still here with you, Tom. I'm just being funny.
I don't even know what to tell you. I think whoever wins is gonna be the Western Conference team. Whoever goes to the finals, I think it'll be one of them too.
Okay, playoffs, NHL. Thanks for the update on the NBA there, Tomsky. I'm gonna have to go Warriors. I'm gonna put my hat on the Warriors trophy there. I feel like the shooting and stuff is really good.
You don't even watch basketball.
No, I don't really watch basketball, so I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna say Looks like we do have a call coming in from our EBGN correspondent. It's kind of what I was waiting for. He's currently on location for the NHL playoffs in Las Vegas for the celebration of the 500 to 1 odds Golden Knights advancement into the Stanley Cup Finals. And also, he will do some coverage of the Game 7 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Washington Capitals happening Wednesday night.
Awesome, Andy. Let's hear from the one and the only Adam Padalanadong.
What? Am I live right now? Yeah, I'm with you right now. I'm reporting live from Las Vegas. I've been partying for like 3 days straight, you guys. No, but I was given a weird white substance and I put it in my bum. Yes, hockey. We're in Las Vegas. Yeah, there's that team, the Golden Silver Knights or whatever they're called. I've been doing a lot of partying. There's a lot of beautiful ladies. There's a pickpocket. He tried to take my wallet, but I put it in my front pocket. That's like a traveler's tip, if you guys didn't know. I saw a lot of trans bicycles or whatever they call themselves these days. I don't even know. Oh yeah, hockey. That's right. The Golden, the Golden Knights. I mean, there's just so much to say about them. They're a team of misfits. You know, unfulfilled contracts, the castaways. You know, the NHL. They had the expansion draft, so basically every team in the NHL gave them anyone that they didn't want or didn't want to pay anymore, and they ended up with Fleury, who was like goalie Jesus, and yeah, and that, and now look at them. They're going to the Stanley Cup, and you know they started with a new stadium, new team, new everything, and then what happens? Some crazy psycho dickbag decides to kill a bunch of people in Las Vegas and talk about like a huge downer. And so what happened is this guy shoots a bunch of people, and then all of a sudden they have the Las Vegas Golden Knights to save the day. They pull a Sammy Sosa. Remember Sammy Sosa?
Yeah, he's white now.
Yeah, he's white now, but Sammy Sosa, when he was black, decided to, you know, when 9
Not
11
black.
happened, well, he was black, now he's white. When 9/11 happened, he's whatever you want him to be. He's like Michael Jackson, but in baseball. So, anyways, when 9/11 happened, Sammy Sosa ran the field. He had an American flag. He cranked a home run, ran around the bases with American flag. It was basically one of the greatest sports like glory moments in history, and that's exactly what the Las Vegas Knights did. They used that negative thing to create something positive. Kicked ass all season, go into the playoffs. They beat the Kings in 4 games. They beat the Sharks 4-2. They beat the Jets 4-2. They had a 12-4 playoff record. Fleury is up for the Vagina Trophy, or the Vizina Trophy, excuse me. They got
Zima?
Gerard, Vagina. I don't know. Anyways, they got Gerard Gallant, who is the coach of the team that the Florida Panthers fired. Now he's up for the Jack Adams Award for best coach. And this team has just basically been phenomenal all year. And it looks like I have no idea. I have no idea. Hopefully, someone attractive at least. Anyways, regardless, the Las Vegas Golden Knights have just been basically like hockey gods all year. They came back and now they're going to the Stanley Cup. Moving on to the Washington Capitals, as always, led by Alex Ovechkin. He's got 11 goals and 10 assists in the playoffs. TJ Oshie has been holding them down, and they beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-2 because Columbus never wins in the playoffs. It's like Yoshi. Sorry, I said Osi. It's like Yoshi, but without the Y. So it's TJ Oshie. He's
Nice.
he's no, he's probably Canadian. They're all Canadian. I mean, even if you're American in hockey, you're Canadian because you say a lot.
Hey.
So they beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-2. moved on to the Penguins. The Penguins have beat them the last 3 years in the playoffs. So this was probably the biggest series in the last 25 years for the Washington Capitals, and they ended up beating them 4-2 with Sidney Crosby and Malkin, who, they're amazing and they work well together. But finally, the Capitals decided to beat them after losing to them 3 years in a row. And then they started the series with Lightning up 2 games. They lost the next 3. And then last night they decided that, hey, they wanted to play hockey again, and they shut them out 3-0. And that's leading up to Game 7 tomorrow night. And I think it's going to be amazing. I'm rooting for the Capitals. Alex Ovechkin is hands down the greatest player in hockey right now. He's essentially the Mike Trout of hockey and has yet to get a Stanley Cup. So I'm rooting for Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals, but I used to live in Las Vegas, so I'm also rooting for the Golden Knights. Either way, go Caps, go Vegas. I hope that's what the Stanley Cup is. And thank you, boys, for having me on the Deep Freeze. And that's my hockey tidbit for this evening. I don't know. There's apparently this hooker. No, there's this hooker with a VW van that's going to give me a ride. Apparently, it's kind of a long drive. We got to go to Tampa Bay. They're playing in Tampa tomorrow. So, what's that, like 9 hours? So, I should probably stop taking hits of drugs. I don't know what they are, and hop on that bus and get going.
Glad we employed you.
Up a smelly crack.
Yeah, we're really excited to have him on the team. He has such a way with people, it's not hard to understand how he gets the news. Because he's balls deep.
That's not the only thing that's hard.
Well, speaking of balls deep, we did have another segment lined up for NASCAR, but with Kevin Harvick winning the All-Star race, I think it's safe to say that he's balls deep embarrassing opposing drivers this season. And even though this was a non-points race, he did win some cash, which I wish I had, and fans were mostly thrilled with the new Aero package. But that's really all I have to say on that. Well, I mean, anything to make the sport more entertaining to watch right now at the snooze fest. I like playing NASCAR games, doing oval track racing, whatever. I mean, the rallycross and things that we do, Andy, but just whatever to make it good again. I'm sick of seeing the same shit every year. Right.
User in your channel timed out.
Right.
User entered your channel.
Yeah, it's the downfall of the sport. If you don't got money, you don't get to play. Yeah, well, whatever you want.
Don't embarrass yourself, and Andy.
Are you ready to do this? I'm ready up when you're ready to go. Again, game 2. Moose against the Cracks. The Cracks.
Now batting, number 47, the center field. Now batting, number 10,
That's hilarious.
the right fielder.
Getting greedy.
Now batting, number 19, the second baseman.
Yeah, that was close.
Now batting, number 25, the first baseman.
Ooh.
Now batting, number 18, the second baseman.
Some good baseball this time around.
Now batting, number 32, the left fielder.
Wow.
Now batting, number 45, the pitcher.
I totally missed. Fuego! Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Now batting, number 11, the shortstop.
Almost. I was going to try to do the bunt. Because that chick's fast.
Now batting, number 15, the first baseman.
Zeros. Some good pitching and some good defense. I thought it was gone just for a second. What a crazy game. Whew.
Now batting, number 18, the second baseman.
Wasn't gonna waste a pinch hitter.
Now batting, number 20, the right fielder. Now batting, number 90, the third baseman.
Too high. Inside. Inside.
Now pitching, number 3.
That's a strike.
Now batting, number 12, the third baseman.
Damn.
Now batting, number 32, the left fielder.
Strike! Strike! Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul! Strike three, you're out! Ball's outside!
Now batting, number 27. Go for a punt. It's a hot dog. Now batting, number 3, the pitcher. Now batting, number 63.
No idea what you're talking about.
Strike! Foul! Foul ball! Foul!
Definitely coffee. It's not crappy, it's coffee.
Strike three, you're out!
Weird. Good game though. You can go ahead. Yeah.